we're not until 9, so.
There we go then. Fair enough. All right, gents, anyway, thanks for taking the time to speak to me, especially on the day when you're doing that Fable thing, man. You're doing that Fable thing of playing live. How are you feeling?
Oh. How are we feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Nervous, but good. Yeah.
The third one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the third show we've played since the world started coming back to life again.
What's the crowd like? I mean, are you kind of like taken back by the amount of people there? Are they really into it?
The last one was a little bit weird because I think people were still a bit wary, and a lot of people got pinged with the PC, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this one's actually the first one that's properly full again. It seems to be good.
Yeah.
Seems to be a good atmosphere at the moment. Everyone's kissing each other, including boys and boys.
So everyone seems to be in good spirits today, and there's plenty of people packed into the Alma, so that's a good sign, I suppose, that people are feeling more confident.
It's been a couple of weeks now, and obviously with likes of Bloodstock going ahead and things like that, you must be sort of thinking, you know, the confidence is coming back, and obviously everybody's super hungry for shows as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think people are still a little wary. They're just still, because obviously, you know, music's everyone's main love and interest, but you still got people who are, you know, they've still got other members of the family who might not be quite as, you know, fortunate to be alcoholics.
What about when you take to the stage later on? I mean, the question's going to be asked. Are you planning to treat that crowd to some new music?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think,
definitely.
To be honest,
pretty much the full new album.
Yeah, I think the aside from the first sort of intro track, the entire album's in the set. So
sweet.
Everyone's gonna So well, we've just
we're doing that really kind of dick move of like the band who you like all their other songs, but we're playing the new one.
Yeah, no one's ever heard.
I've only really just reflected on that. It might not come over that well.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm sure it will, because obviously, talking of which, Leave Me the Ashes of the Earth, out September 10th, 2021. Suddenly, that doesn't seem as far away as it did. Has the release kind of crept up on you, or are you at that stage now where you just want to get it out?
I don't know if I think a little bit both, really. I mean, it's nearly a year since we recorded it, so it does feel like it's been a long time coming. Sorry, I know I'm not in the shot high. It definitely feels like it's we've been sat on it for a good while and just sort of waiting for people to hear it. But then it does feel like it's come around real quickly since, because for such a long time we couldn't do anything at all, and then it feels like the last sort of 3 or 4 months have been, even without playing loads of shows, they've still been a bit of a blur of like promos, doing interviews, making videos, waiting for videos to come out, seeing the reaction, you know. So, and then to think that, it's like less than 2 weeks till the album's actually going to be with the rest of the world. It's a kind of weird but exciting feeling. He nailed it there, I think.
Well, I mean, a lot has changed. A lot has changed since Mastiff last put a record out. So much so that we probably don't have enough time to cover it all. But let's focus on a couple of the sort of major events. Firstly, the big one. How has Mastiff been coping throughout the pandemic?
We looked out, really.
Yeah.
We were on the end of the plague cycle, and we'd pretty much 80 to 90% written the new one. So it was the only thing that we got messed about was really we couldn't practice it. You know, luckily, like I say, it was 89% written, so it was just a case of waiting till studios were allowing people in.
We were lucky enough to get in like the week before the second lockdown kicked in, so we managed to get the full thing recorded before the studios were closed again, which kind of worked well for us.
Yeah, I think we finished recording the album on Friday, and it was like following Monday or something.
Yeah.
When the second lockdown started, so we just snuck in there. But then after that, we didn't physically see each other again until March, I think.
Something like that, yeah. It was
So
a while.
we were like another 5 months where we didn't have, aside from our constant inane rantings over WhatsApp, we didn't actually see each other. That was a bit weird.
It was really nice.
That almost has to be the question. That length of a break, a forced break, you know, did you enjoy it? You know, have you been able to kind of go, you know what, it's been a shitty situation, but we've been able to take some positives out of it?
I would say that one of the main drawbacks has been kind of like not being able to be in a room and kind of jam new tracks out, because you can kind of sit by yourself and write stuff. But I think this band really does well when we take a part of a song or something and then get together with it. And I feel like that's kind of been missing a bit. And I don't think we've really like got back in our stride in terms of writing music at the minute. I feel like lads on Scramblers going mental. They've just gone past, so we're all right. So I feel like we need to maybe like just get back into doing a bit of writing and stuff like that, because we're probably like the least productive we have been in a sense in the writing music kind of sense. Yeah. Because of the lockdown, I would say.
I guess on the flip side of that, though, I think because obviously we have been sat on this album, that the only pressure on us to write has been from ourselves. It's not, you know, E1 have got, you know, this album sort of sat in the wings ready to go. It's not like they're kind of calling us up saying,
banging on the door,
where's the next one? Because this one's not out the door yet. So the only pressure on us to write is from ourselves. But you know, we like to remain creative and keep sort of marching forward. So you know, it has been a bit of a detriment.
I mean, the other thing is, yes, you ask about whether it was a good thing or a bad thing having a rest. I think it did do us all good to have a little bit of a rest, because coming up, we're going to be trapped in, you know, vans and fucking all, you know, venues and stuff like that for the next couple of years, probably quite intensely. So it's quite good to have a bit of a rest from each other, I guess.
Re-energize, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's lots of other positives as well. We've got to talk about one in particular, which is, of course, signing with E1. Wow, that kind of, from a fan's perspective, that came out of nowhere.
From our perspective, it came out of nowhere as well.
Oh, I was about to ask, how did it come about? And was it an easy decision for you guys to go, yep, we're going to do that?
It's a really like old cliche. It's not what you know or what you can do, it's who you know. And I think this is like just perfect example of that.
Yeah. So to sort of shorten the story as much as possible,
Michael Jackson rang us up and he said,
from the grave. He was
oh, sorry, Michael Jackson rang Kurt Winstein. Kurt Winstein rang us, and then the rest is history, really. No.
Basically, we know a guy that works for them.
Yeah. We, I assume it's public knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So we were, we're friendly with Calligram, who we're obviously touring with in October, and their bass player Dan is actually, when he's not playing the bass in a horrible black metal band, he's like the head of promotion for E1 for the entire UK. And we played a show with him at sort of tail end of 2019 or right at the start of 2020, I think. And just chatting with him, and he just said, "Oh well, you know, this is my day job. If you guys have like any new stuff, shoot it my way, and I'll pass it up the ladder, and you might get like a cool tour out of it. Maybe next time Crowbar cycle through the UK, you might get a support slot." And like, awesome, cool. So we finished the album. I just dropped him a message, sent him it. I was like, "Here you go, mate. Like, see what we can do with it." And a couple of weeks later, just a message hit my inbox and was like, "Right, mate, E1 love it. You want to sign you? What do you think?"
And we all shit our pants.
So yeah, definitely what Phil said. Yeah, just kind of knowing the right person at the right time, and
also writing the good shit.
Writing an album with people like that helps.
We had to sit on that note for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was obviously sort of November last year, and we've
we're quite good at keeping secrets, as everybody knows now, with the game and this and.
Was there even any sort of second thoughts? Did you have a discussion? Was it immediately, yep, we're doing this?
I mean,
I
obviously
think we're all of a certain age now where, what else was coming along for us? Probably not a lot. So it was kind of one of those, let's just do it. Why not? Let's give it a go.
Yeah. I mean,
Fieldy at APF's been classic for us, really supportive guy, great fella. But if a bigger label comes along and says, we'll put this out for you, well, why would you say no? It's kind of a no-brainer, really.
I mean, Fieldy will tell you that he always envisaged his. I don't know the word. Envisaged his bands going on to bigger things. All his bands, and he was like applauding us. Just fucking do it. When we rang him and said, "Look, this is what's happening," he went, "What are you fucking ringing me for? Get ringing them and fucking say yes." So that was, it was pretty much. I don't want to say a no-brainer because we did have to have a conversation about it, but yeah, it was.
We had
fairly.
To chat the realities and the logistics. And, we had to get our expensive team of crack lawyers to sift through the paperwork, but yeah, it was an easy decision, really.
One of the most fascinating things is just a cursory look through that roster of that label and to see your names amongst the likes of Avatar, Black Label Society, Dog, like that. You stand out. Was that something that was quite relevant to you? That Mastiff really are going to stand out on this E1 roster?
I think, that was part and parcel of the conversation we had. We were like, well, we are the small fish in a big pond now, but we're also probably one of the heaviest bands on that label. And even to get a fucking bite, let alone wanting to entertain us, it was a case of, yes, it is crackers that we are the heaviest thing on a label still.
Yeah, and we sort of felt the confidence from their side because they must have trusted in the album we presented them, because to be honest, there's no other reason that they'd have come sniffing around us. Like we've got enough of a reputation around the sort of UK underground that we've got our fans and we've got our well-wishers, but we're not a sort of making headlines band at this stage. So the fact that they heard that record and were like, yep, let's get these kids signed up with these young whippersnappers.
Fucking 50.
Did you have any moments where you were like, oh, the fan base is going to call us sellouts? We're signing to a major.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah, we don't really care.
I think that's kind of welcome that to Glee, really.
It's kind of funny when you listen to us and then call us a sellout. Yeah.
If anyone, nothing about the music is also. Well,
if anyone,
are probably better.
Yeah. If anyone could listen to that record and say, "Oh, well, they're just chasing the corporate dollar," I mean, someone needs a severe sort of case of perspective.
Well, in a sense, the album was written before we even.
Well, yeah, it was
recorded.
It was
finished. So, if anyone tries to say we sold out, then it's kind of after the fact. So it wouldn't really be a valid argument.
I mean, couple of good things coming out. Charlie has moved from a skip into a bin now. Yeah, it's very good, really.
You're doing well.
And he's got an ensuite toilet now, but it's a public one.
I mean, as the moment you released Endless should have silenced any doubters, because obviously that was the first single and that was just crushing. So, oh my god, what if they've changed their sound? I think Endless answered that question.
Well, I think it's sort of refined. I think it's recorded a bit better. The song's good, but it's still heavy as hell. It's still a bit weird because we kind of like put things together that maybe not all bands put together. It's difficult to pin it down to one kind of sound or style.
Yeah, I would say it's just. I mean, we'll take Endless as the single because it's kind of. I mean, it was tough to single out one song that represented the whole album because I think the whole point of the album is it's quite all over the place anyway. But then that song in its own little confined space is also quite all over the place. So it set the precedent in being like you don't know what to expect. Sort of
you don't know what's coming around the corner.
All you know to expect is you're going to get your head smashed in.
Which is all we want. It's all we want. Considering when the album was written and finished, do you think it's a good reflection now of how Mastiff are feeling and the position and place you're in at this point in time?
Fucking hell, that is a good question.
I think so because we've not written anything else. Sometimes you kind of like the album that's coming out. You've already written like 5 songs, and you're like, oh, I wish I could play these brand new ones, but there's nothing. We've not really got finished products waiting in the wings. So I would say this is still a good representation of our sound, what we're doing, where we are, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think this is, and again, disagree with me, anyone else. I think this is probably the first time where this is probably the first time where we've had to sort of sit on a release for a while. Because we had almost as long a wait between recording Plague and that coming out. I think that was about 8 or 9 months. But I think this time it's the first time really that I'm still completely like psyched on the record. I still love it back to front. I've not sort of micro managed it and picked it apart and can't listen to it anymore because I just hear like the bits that I wish we'd done differently. I can still listen to that album front to back and just be proud of it. And that's so yeah. I think we're probably still in that same headspace just because we're still kind of happy with the thing we did.
Yeah, we also tried to sort of create a final product as well rather than just an album full of songs. So we spend a lot of time thinking of sort of sequences, how everything flows into each other, sort of the different kind of instrumentation used on the intro track and the outro of Lung Rust. So like we kind of spend more time defining that to try and get the sound that we wanted as well.
I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal when it lands, fellas. But I've been a bit of a nerd today. I've been looking at some stats. I've been searching through some stats, right?
Oh, stats. Is this going to make us cry?
Well, it just is one of those.
Are they about cricket?
Brilliant things where, as of about 2 p.m. earlier on today, you have over 100,000 views on Endless and just over 85,000 on Repulse. This is on YouTube. Staggering numbers. Absolute staggering numbers. Does that sort of thing relax you a little bit, knowing that clearly the fan base not only are they hungry for the album, but they haven't forgotten you in this pandemic time?
It's fucking made us shit our pants because where the fuck has 100,000 people come from? You know what I mean? I mean, who listens to this shit? 100,000 people listening to that shit. We're idiots. No, not really. It has reassured us, but it's just still crazy numbers. You're like, what on earth? Where are them put? Anyway, well, it's great.
Yeah, like I just said, where we feel that we made a good record, but you're never guaranteed a response from other people like that. We always kind of, we like to, we're confident in what we've done, but we don't expect anyone to be on the same page as us. So the fact that anyone at all kind of connects with it and enjoys it is always a nice surprise. I don't think we'll ever be the band that expects everyone to just follow along with what we do, because we're a bit difficult and we are ugly and horrible and not pleasant to listen to. So
Which has been our ethos from day one,
yeah.
really.
So the fact, if you know, the sort of those two videos combined, of you know, the sort of nearly 200,000 views between them, that is insane. But obviously, we're very, very grateful for everyone that's sort of taken the time to listen to. Well, is it? You have to get past about 30 seconds.
I think so.
To count
Yeah.
as a view.
Yeah.
So that many people have heard at least 30 seconds of our song.
The next one's going to have Lady Gaga as the intro for 30 seconds.
And I have to say, you keep making me think, the more unlovable you try to make yourself sound, the more people are going to love you. Because you know it works. You say, don't love us, don't love us. People are just going to be like, well, we got to win you over. So that's what's going to happen. Guys, talking of the videos, two very different videos. One that felt, dare I say, also very Mastiff. And the other that looked to be like you were having a lot of fun. I want to talk about Repulse specifically. Who came up with that idea? And did you enjoy being, I guess, as on the nose as you were in regards to certain scenes?
But Jam pretty much come up with it.
Yeah, well, it was sort of.
I had an idea about having a party bus, and it went from there, and Jam just was like, I've got this idea about and went.
I mean, it kind of started with Dan from Telegram again, obviously, who's our sort of main point of contact with E1, and he said, like, you know, maybe next video, maybe think about, you've done your sort of sour face serious video, maybe think about giving people a little bit of an insight into, you know, what a set of idiots you are. and so yeah, so we sort of took that away and mulled over it, and then yeah, Jim came up with this idea about get us on a party bus, and I was like, well, what if it was us like on the Raz, and then like it was like our new label rep came to town to sort of caught us, and we were trying to impress him, and then we accidentally killed him. And then it evolved through various versions of the idea. At one point it was going to be a gig, but then like everyone
comes down to logistics.
scared about sort of
Lockdowns and shit.
Lockdowns and all that stuff again, and you know, the idea kind of got simplified and refined, and then we gave it to the guys that sort of are responsible for the videos. Well, Stu made the Endless video, and then his sort of proteges, Luke and Matt, who were hands-on for Repulse. And they kind of took our basic bullshit and refined it into something that would logistically actually make for a good music video. What is maybe an exclusive for you right now is that it's the first part of a two-part video. And
it's coming out next Friday.
The sequel is coming out. Yeah, it's coming out next end of next week, and it will conclude the story that was started in Repulse.
Makes sense, because the expectation would be 3 singles, of course. So can't wait, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. All things staying okay in the country and around the world. Do you kind of see this as Mastiff in the starting blocks now? Like, finally, right, new album. You've got dates in October, lovely looking dates, including one near to me as well, of course, in London. Is this you guys now hopefully kind of gearing back up again?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely, without a doubt. I mean, every band on the bloody planet's trying to get in the starting gate. So we're there is other stuff booked, which we can't reveal unfortunately yet. But yes, so this is the first I don't know, lap of the fucking ring or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm terrible at analogies. It's the first elephant todger going in. I don't know. And it won't sell me ice cream going that, please.
Yeah, I think I think we all, as much as sort of Mastiff has been a band for quite a while now, and like this version of Mastiff has been together for nearly 5 years now. But I think we know that with E1 behind us and with this album, we're kind of not completely starting fresh, but like a lot of people are going to hear us for the first time now. So it does kind of feel, after this sort of enforced break of 2020, it does kind of feel like a fresh, like this is sort of our chance to like make new impressions on people, and hopefully they just listen to the music and they don't read any interviews with me. Because if I get them wrong with me.
You're doing it again. You're doing that whole endearing thing.
Yeah, the whole, yeah, we're shit. We're from Hull and we're shit.
Yes, yeah.
Right, you said it now.
It's up to, yeah, that's it. It's up to everyone else to pick us up or like us. We hate ourselves.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that we're good at. Uh-oh.
Right, guys, you said it there, so it's my last question for you. Now, every time I get a press release surrounding Mastiff, it tends to start with a miserable band from a miserable town. Give me something good about Kingston upon Hull. I've never been there, so give me a reason to go there.
The A63 out of it.
Beer house.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
The Deep's quite nice. Yeah, the Deep's all right. There's a lovely brewery based in Hull called Bone Machine. It's run by two Finnish brothers that brew out of Hull, and they make incredible beer.
Exceedingly good cake.
Yeah. So we did a collaboration with them start of last year. They made a 10.5% coffee stout called Mastiff, which is proper headache juice.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing from Hull.
Distortion, Pan-Asian restaurant.
Yeah, not the band.
Banging.
I've got a can of it somewhere around the bar here over there, but I can't quite see it. My wife must have moved it.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere.
when we get some more cans, we'll send you one, Charles.
Yeah.
Very kind. Guys, I know you've got a very busy day ahead of you. Enjoy the show. I hope it's fantastic. I hope the crowd absolutely fucking lap it up. And thanks for doing this.
Oh, thank you,
Cal. Thanks for asking us.
Yeah, it's really appreciated.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?